Welcome to the final round of the 2018 Brent Hambrick Memorial Open. This round is affectionately known as the Final Nine.
Yes, and this is Brad Schick. Welcome. I'm super excited to be here. We have a good five group, actually six people, the top four men and the top two women. So super excited to be here.
Yeah, now we showed the winner's plaque. You got your name on that plaque now, don't you?
I did back in 2008, so it was a fun time. I've been in the finals a few times, but only been able to win it once, so it was a good time for sure.
Well, congrats on that victory. We're going to let the tournament director, Paul J., introduce the event.
All right, folks, we'll get started here. I'd like to welcome you to the Final Nine of the 2018 Brent Hambrick Memorial Open. We will have the top four open players and the top two open women players playing. Gentlemen, the women will tee off every hole first, and then we'll go from there. Rebecca Frazier from Columbus, Ohio, and the Ohio State University.
Really hard, apparently.
Up there,
Go
man.
blue.
Go blue. All right, Jessica Weeds from Grass Valley, California. For the men, we have Drew Gibson from Fair Oaks, California. We have James Cole from Red Bank, Tennessee. And we have Chris Dickerson from Johnson City, Tennessee. We have Max Nichols from San Diego, California.
California versus Tennessee. All right.
Ladies, if you're ready, we're playing regular hole one.
Like Paul said, the women start off each hole. We got Jessica putting out a forehand on hole 1, 344 feet. Now this hits up high up in the tree, but it does trickle down.
That tree is one of the most, that tree just grabs everything. That was pretty fortunate for her to come down. And there we have Rebecca. Good grief, that looks like it's stuck up, didn't it?
Yeah, same tree, but hers stayed up there. So that'll be a 2-meter roll.
Now we have the leader who's been hanging out at the top the entire weekend, looking for his first win of the year at a big A tier. Max always seems to play well here. Great shot, good start. Chris, Mr. Consistent, made a big push the second round, stay on top as well. And he's come up about 35, 40 foot short. James, if you don't know, James was on the fourth card going into the final round. Pops off a 1,079 rated third round to move up to the lead card and actually tie for third, I believe, is what he was in to start.
Yeah, he had a 14 under to get on the final nine.
And that's probably, if it's not the course record, it's probably close. There's been some variations in course design, so I'm going to go ahead and call that a course record. Drew hung it out a little bit wide. It's probably not going to have a huge window over there. It's hard to say, but here's Mr. Risley, Zach, who we saw earlier on. It's nice to see them helping out, contributing with some of their best friends. Rebecca, unfortunately, stuck in that tree. Just got to lay up, get your 3, or 4, I guess, with the OB stroke. Jessica just playing it smart.
Drew for a long bird.
Oh, he got way back there. Thought he was a little shorter than that. There you go.
Nice.
There you go, Drew. Where was that at last round? Could be winning this thing. That was a great putt. Good two, good start. It's fun for the crowd to see good play. There's always a lot of nerves in this. It's hard to put yourself in the situation when you've got, a couple hundred people watching you. You're in the finals. You're playing for big money. It's a good effort by Chris, but Unfortunately, a little bit right. James trying to get off to a good start as well. Perfect drive. Boom.
Nice.
Yep. Right.
He's real hot today, isn't he?
I'd say I didn't see him. We were the hole behind him, and everyone kept saying that he was shredding it, and Double G was right on his tail, and they kept looking, to see how he was doing and getting word from the cart ahead. And when we finally heard he birdied his last hole, might have been actually hole 6 that he started. I think it was the 6th hole if I remember, because he finished on hole number 5 and got his birdie. So if I may be wrong, it was either 4 or 5. So he was way back and just he broke some hearts because there were people thinking they were in the final 9, and then they had the old dreaded, nope. James
went
shot
14
a
under.
he shot a little 1079 on you. Unfortunately, Max kind of skipped off into the woods and missed his birdie.
So who were some other players on the bubble?
It's a good question. I know Double G was one. He was either 1 or 2 out, and there were a couple of others that were right there on that line.
Corey Ellis up
Yeah,
there?
Corey maybe. There was Corey and one other person he was tied with, but I thought Double G was maybe first out if I remember correctly. So I think Double G popped off about a 12 under, 10 or 12 under. It was some crazy number too. And then to hear James shot 14 was just like, I mean, I watched Garrett shoot that and thought, wow. So Chris tapping out. So after the first hole, Jessica gained another stroke, is up 6, kind of running away a little bit. Max is still up 2. You had James and Drew both gaining a stroke, so moving up the chain a little bit.
Normal hole 2.
Yep, normal OB in play, just the right side of the dam playing as a hazard. Left side tall grass is inbound, so mostly just trying to get down there. And this is Rebecca, not as well known, not really on tour. Rebecca
Whoa.
has absolutely smashed that. Her whole entire family plays. It's kind of cool to see. Her mom and dad, David and Sandra, good people. And she has 2 sisters that are both amazing players, Nicole and Michelle.
Which one wears the plaid pants?
Yeah, I think they all do. I think they have like a whole family full of plaid pants, but they are always smiling. Such a nice family, and it's cool to see them all still playing.
Wow.
Yeah, great shot there. That James just smashing. I think that's parked. Drew is another one who just probably has to back off of this hole because he throws so far. Just taking that hazard and going right at it, no fear. Looks like he got that one up a little bit.
Yeah, this one's a little high. It's going to be fading a little out into those trees.
It's down there though. It's inbounds, in play. He's got a long look.
Max, good power, just a little too low.
Yeah, maybe a little too safe. And Chris is another one. If you've watched in the previous rounds, he's got the distance to do this. It's just, can he get the line and can he get the trust on that OB? And he's absolutely crushed this one. Wow. That is a powerful shot.
I think that was an ace run.
Mm-hmm. Some of the local crew watching the finals. Jessica, a little further back than she probably expected, but
It's good up.
great upshot. Max is way back. If you remember the last round, he was putting at it, so you can tell, but give himself a good approach shot. And Max is at a little bit of a disadvantage in these longer safari holes. I mean, hole 1 and 2 and some of those, he's not and he's not as long on the tee on the safari hole. So these first few holes, he needs to be keeping himself in contention, so he's not dropping strokes later. But smart play by Rebecca.
So this is Drew for birdie, and he made it.
Wow. Is that a sidearm?
That was a sidearm from the woods.
I remember watching that from the dam up top, and I didn't even know where it came from. It just went in. So Drew likes to show off, if you haven't noticed. So he's now got a gallery, and he's got people to show off for. So great shot. And I'm gonna say that was some nerves, maybe just kind of looking at your 6-stroke lead, and wow, good little putt there. Save your par. Max trying to get out of there with his 3. And as I said earlier, the nerves, and that's just a sick drive there by James. The nerves right now, if you're not in this situation week in and week out, you almost, like, I remember not even being able to get the disc out of my hand on the last putt. It's 10 years ago. There's tons of people watching, and it was like a 15-foot putt for the win. It came down to 1 stroke, and couldn't even get the disc out of my hand. I remember the nerves and the excitement of just trying to get that first big win, that first national tour. So yeah, it's just these guys are going through it. I understand it. Hey, look at you walking up the hill, trekking up.
I was racing up there trying to get a good position.
So this is hole 3. This is not a normal hole, as you're going to see. It's throwing from the top of the dam. It's probably the signature hole that everyone looks forward to every year. Over the years, these trees have grown so tall. The ladies, obviously don't have as much power, but they still can get over it if they go for it and get a good pop on it. They're playing to hole 5, the basket on the elevated wood pile, and it looks like Jessica's just going to go out to the left and just play it away from the trees, which is pretty smart.
Yeah, she's going around, and this is looking nice.
Yeah, that's a good play. It's smart. Now these guys, they definitely have the power. James's dad, I was telling James's dad before when he walked up, I said, that hole's farther than it looks, just tell James to throw it hard. And he went like 60 feet long.
Yeah.
He came walking down saying, well, somebody said to throw it hard. So I'll take the blame on that one, James. But he absolutely smashed it, and I think Drew did the exact same thing. But in one of the original Columbus Opens that Brent ran, Crazy John Brooks threw from the top of that and actually almost aced it. He threw a rock. It was about 500 feet. The trees were probably half the size, and you could kind of see the basket and watch the disc coming all the way in, where you don't have that luxury, John, with the trees being 90 feet tall now.
Yeah, you just blew me away when you said you could see the basket.
Yeah, yeah, it was. If you haven't seen the video, try to find Crazy John Brooks Columbus Open, and he throws a rock just straight at it, and it hyzers in and goes right off the rim for ace, and it was just amazing. So it's been cool to see this hole stay around. I don't know how much longer they're going to be able to keep it in that position, just because these trees just keep growing. Chris popping a good one. It's really tough to see the camera view from this angle. So Jessica's got a wide open shot over to the basket, which is a really smart play. And Max kind of in the same exact spot. Just play for your 3 and get out of there. Rebecca decided to go through the trees. Wow, look how long they went.
Yeah.
That is a bomb. 500-foot hole, 80 feet long.
He gets chains.
Would have been quite the start. Birdie, birdie, birdie. Making his run.
James for his 2.
Yeah, it's tough to go super aggressive on that again. It's just, you go for a 40-footer and miss, and you have a 40-foot coming back, and just keep the nerves going.
Off the top.
I was expecting Chris to make that one.
Yeah, a little bit of a roll away there.
Smart play.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's brutal. Looking at 2, and now you're taking a 4. I couldn't tell if he really pulled that left or that was just a bad kick out. It had some weird grab by the chains, but Drew getting his 3. There's a lot of action in this sixum. It's hard to keep track, but they really like to keep the women with the men so they get the same gallery and the same kind of excitement going through. So it's cool to see them tagging along. I actually played in it last year, and Jessica and I believe, if I remember correctly, it was Rebecca Cox, and I think they outdrove me on like 4 holes. So it's humbling.
I remember Rebecca's drive on 7. She crushed it.
Mm-hmm. So Chris with the unfortunate bogey drops back. Now Max is 3 ahead of him, and then everything behind them is really tightened up a little bit. And look at Rebecca.
This is looking good.
Absolute crush. I mean, that's actually perfect where you want to be. This is original hole 4. You know, if you've watched any of the previous rounds, this is one you're really happy to get a 3 on. Looks like Jessica went outside with the sidearm, which is a really smart play. It's very safe.
Snappy. Huge backhand.
Yeah, during that last round when he shot 14, he actually parked this one. We were on the tee waiting, and we saw them walk down there, and we knew it was close, and we saw him giving out high fives, and found out that he parked it, and this was one of his last holes, and then I think he went and birdied 5 to finish. So these guys know how to play this hole. They've had 3 rounds of it. It's no different. Nice footwork by the cameraman there.
Hey, just make sure it doesn't hit you. Get out of the way.
Yeah, they're going at you this time. Good shot. It looked like it's down there far. AJ, one of Max and AJ, best friends for a long time. They traveled out. I remember meeting AJ and Max at the Great Lakes Open probably about 6 or 8 years ago, and they've been coming to the Hambrick for a number of years in a row. So it's always awesome to see them coming back. So Jessica, a little bit early. That could definitely be down the hill. This is that fast green, 2-tiered green, and it goes downhill with the road down there.
Max hanging it out wide. Staying away from that OB road down at the bottom.
See if Rebecca can put some heat on Jessica. She's just, I think at this point, she's just having fun with it. She knows that, wow, great line. She's 6 back, and I believe this is her first big final 9 like this. So I think she's just kind of taking it all in. And that is, that's how you play it right there. Yeah. Aim for that dirt, that mulch, and take your 3 and get out of the way. Ooh, good one.
Yep.
James is like, man, I wish I had that too this round. Okay, a little interesting. Rebecca must have got that roll down to the bottom.
Yeah, I think she stayed safe though.
So she's going to take her 4. Jessica did come up early. Now Max to save his 3 from about 20 feet.
Got a lot of chains there, but it didn't stay in.
Yeah, it's one of his first misses. I mean, that's that range where he's been automatic all weekend. It's not snappy to get his 3.
Off the top.
Ouch. That's a 4 and a big bruise on your leg.
Yeah.
Chris getting his 3. Well done. Oh no. Okay, so this is nerves. I mean, there's just no way around it. All these guys are such good players. Okay, good recovery. You know, it's just, again, it's hard to put yourself in that situation. You know, there's a lot of people watching. There's a lot of action. There's a lot of waiting. Obviously, the video is edited to speed things up, but there's a lot of waiting, and it just makes it tough. There's just a lot going on. There's a lot of movement. So you really got to
Combine that with the real dangerous green and OB
Yeah.
down at the bottom of the hill.
Right, and a lot of money on the line. So, if you do it every weekend, like some of the top pros, it's one thing. But, a lot of these guys aren't in this situation every single weekend. So it's a lot different. So
So we got Max hanging on to a 2-stroke lead.
Rebecca's made up a couple strokes. She's now only 4 back as opposed to 6 back early on. So 259 feet must get for women and men. It's a good skip shot in. That's looks right like it's right there. Good job. Jessica needs to come back from that. She's definitely got the pop to do that, and that's looking great. That's how you do it. Good comeback. And Drew coming off of his 3. These guys are just a little flick for them. 260, 280 feet.
Big hyzer, big skip. Looks good.
Parked.
Yep. Oh, did he hit the wood?
Looked like it. That was good. In years past, so this about 5 years ago, this hole was just in the ground without the wood pedestal that it's on now. And this added so much to this hole. It's still a fairly easy hole, but it adds that layer of danger of if you have a 25 or 30 foot putt and you miss, now you've actually got something to think about on the way back. So originally, Brent put these in trying to get some aces on film, and this elevated basket really took the ace run out of it, because if you're ace running this, you're probably going to have a really tough putt. So again, like Max here, he's got a little bit of a downhill slanted green with the pedestal 4 feet above him. And that's exactly why that elevated basket now, it just comes into play and makes it so much more difficult. So he's got some work to do. Drew's a little deep. And the putters are not on fire right now for anyone. Oh no. So that's 3 in a row for Max that he's missed, and he's really been just on it all weekend, so can pull it together. Okay. Rebecca?
There we
Oh
go.
boy. It's like the basket was just not letting anyone in. So that's a good birdie for Rebecca. She'll pick up another one on Jessica. She can knock this one down. There you go. Trying to make it interesting. James putting her right next to it. Taking his time after the last hole and missing that last gimme. And Chris. Nice one.
Hit off the pedestal, kept it close.
Well done. Drew is not happy about that one, and unfortunately for Max, dropping in a 4, which is just it's a big no-no on this hole.
Yeah, it might be his first 4 on this hole ever.
Could be. So that just tightened things up really, really, really tight.
Yeah, 3-way tie for first. Max, Chris, and James all at 19 under. Drew Gibson just 1 stroke back. Jessica Weiss still in the lead. She's got 3 strokes to play with. Come on back for part 2 of the final 9 at the Brent Hambrick 2018.